Hi everybody, I'm Sarah Vavra from Sarah Vavra Wellness and Bodywork, and today's series is about building strength in the lower part of the body, the hips, the legs, the calves, and some of the muscles of the feet. And this is a beginner's series. It's for people who are able to stand. So if you're not able to stand, look for my series for building strength in your lower body from a seated position. But this does require you to be able to stand. There are two parts to this. The first part is going to be the mobility warm-up, and then the second part is going to be the strength part. You don't need any equipment other than your own body. But if you want to have a chair or the wall handy for this part of it, you might want to have that to help you with your balance. All right, as always, listen to your body. If you need to rest, rest. Be mindful of your knees and your hips and the balance, and enjoy. Okay, so we're going to take ourselves down to the floor. And so you just need a mat or a carpet, whatever works best for you. And come all the way down and let your body just rest on the floor for a moment. And we're just going to start off with some very simple movement with the hips and the legs, taking the feet up off the ground, noticing what that feels like. And then bring your right leg in, and I'm going to take my hands to the back of the thigh, holding on here, and just straighten and bend that leg several times. So the idea here is that we're warming up the knee. So you might hear some creaking in the knee, particularly as you get more birthday candles on the cake. You want to do this many times, depending on how your body feels today. We're also getting a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. And then we're going to flex and point at the ankle. Flex and point, multiple times. This is very important. This is dorsiflexing, when we bring the front of the foot towards the shin. We want to be able to do that and to have that strength in the front of the shin so that we don't trip when we walk. And we need to be able to lift the front of our foot up. So circle around. Ankle mobility, also very important. And circle the other way around. Many times. Good. And then release that leg down. Bring your other leg in, hands to the back of your thigh if you want, extending that leg and bending. So we're just doing this nice movement here, straightening and bending, straightening and bending. Don't be alarmed by the different sounds that might come out of your body. And then flex and point at that ankle. Again, pulling the front of the foot actively towards the shin. For those of us that used to wear or still wear high heels, it's probably a lot easier to point than flex, but it's very important to be able to go in both directions. Circle around multiple times. And go the other way. Good. And then release. Now we're just going to let our knees drop from side to side. So these are windshield wiper knees. Our feet are separated about hip width apart. And we're starting to get some movement in the hips. Take the feet further apart. Notice what happens, dropping one down, dropping the other. And this is an opportunity just to notice what's happening in your body, where you have flexibility, where you don't. Bring the feet together and the knees together, and then let the knees drop over to the side and over to the other side. Now at the end of your workout session, you can do all of these same movements, but then hold them for 20-30 seconds as a good stretch. Good, and then come back to center. Feet are separated, hip width apart. We're going to cross that right ankle over the left thigh and start to gently open up the thigh. And although my hand looks like it's pressing into the knee, I'm not really moving that kneecap. The movement's happening at the thigh. So we don't want to have any twisting around that knee. And we're just going to be mindful of what our range of motion is. And then we might hold that and just kind of notice, wobble a little bit from side to side. Again, we're not doing deep stretches right now. We're starting to just warm up the joints and the muscles. And then you can take the foot up off the ground, maybe reach up and hold on to the back of your thigh, hugging it in and releasing, just giving it a little rock. You can add some extension in that hamstring if you want. Just pulling it in, And you can use your right elbow to, again, gently nudge the right thigh to open up. Good. And then put that left foot on the ground. We're going to draw the right knee in. It's coming in and over just a little bit. So we're just letting it come through the midline and pulling it in just a bit. You might feel a bit of a stretch in the hips. We're just kind of pulling this in across the body. And then guide it out wide, bringing that knee in towards the armpit. Right, so it's coming in and out, and then across. It's almost like you're making this little arcing, sweeping motion. Good. And then place your foot on the ground. We'll do the same thing with the other leg. Cross the ankle over, and then just give it a little, just this little wobble. Notice if when you do this, if you want to, kind of move your pelvis from side to side, try to keep your pelvis stationary if you feel that motion. Because the action is we're not really trying to twist the lower back. We're getting this opening here in the femur and in the hip. So we want to make sure that we're not cheating. And then when you're ready, take your foot up off the ground, hold on to the back of the thigh. We can hug it in, hug it in. And I still have pretty much most of my sacrum on the ground and kind of trying not to peel my lower back up off the ground. Keeping that lower back long. Hugging it in and rocking. And maybe adding a little movement, some more hamstring, knee, ankle action here. Good. Release the foot down, hold on to that knee, and we're going to bring it over and pull it in just slightly. It's not unusual to feel kind of a pinchy feeling on the inside of your thigh. That's that little psoas iliacus attachment. And then take the knee out wide towards your armpit and pull it in, right? Just going to bring it over and across and in. So again, the whole point of this is to start to warm up these joints. Bring both knees in, give them a hug, and release, hug and release, hug and release. And then holding on to your kneecaps, stir the knees around. We're describing a circular shape on the ceiling. If you notice an area that feels pretty good, and would like a little extra attention, you can kind of rock on that and then go the other way. Then let those feet stay together. We're going to take the knees out wide so both knees are coming out towards the armpits and then bring them together. Just taking them out and together, out and together. You can also do this with your feet on the ground, just a little butterfly motion. And then separate the feet hip width apart. Again, take that right ankle over the left thigh. Let your arms go out wide, and we're just going to let everything rock from side to side in this wide position. And we're just noticing. Again, we don't want to have any discomfort in any other part of our body. And then switch. Take that left ankle over. Now, if you're doing this at home, and you're doing this without the video, but you remember all of these different movements, you can do them many more times than we're doing them right now. Okay. And then nice. We're going to roll over onto our side. Come on over to your side. See if you can reach up and hold on to that right ankle, then drop the knee down. And we're pulling the heel in towards the glute just a little bit. Pull, and then release it, and pull, and release it. It's just a very easy kind of opening up through the front. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, right? And we're going to roll over and then pull it in and release. You might be on the ground, pull it in and release. Now, if you can't actually hold on to your ankle here, then just practice bending that knee and pulling your heel towards your glute. That's all you have to do. Or just not do it at all. And then we're going to roll over back onto our back for a moment. Arms are down by the sides. We'll lift the hips up. Squeeze the booty as you come up. Try not to arch that lower back. Just lifting up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Very good. And then we'll make our way up to seated, crossing one leg in front of the other. Right, and just allow yourself to circle around and circle the other way. And then again, the same thing. If you feel a little area that feels sticky and you want to rock on it a little bit, go ahead and do that. And then you can switch legs, which one is in front, and circle around again. And go the other way. And then that is it for our warm-up for right now. So the next thing that we're going to do is the strength part of this practice. And so I will see you in a second. Hi, and welcome back. Sarah Vavra here from Sarah Vavra Wellness and Bodywork. And this is the second part of our beginning series to build strength in the lower body. And so I have my chair here to make it easy for me to, protect my balance. And so I want you to make sure that you have something around you if you're not so sure about your balance. First thing we're going to do is an exercise to help build some strength in the quads. So you just want to feel what your body feels like when you stand up. Notice what's happening in your lower back. We want to keep ourselves from, moving into this hyperextended sway back, which is default for a lot of us. We're going to soften the knees and gently tuck the tail under. We don't want to feel that sense of like pushing the pelvis forward too much. We want to get that nice sense of lengthening. Drawing the abdominals in and letting the shoulders rest over the hips. So you want to feel really good throughout this and not to feel any sense of strain or ache or pain. We're going to shift our weight to the right foot and see if we can take that left leg up. We're just noticing how high we can lift the leg up comfortably without doing any kind of hip hiking. We want to keep that hip nice and level. I'm going to place my left hand right here, and that's going to be where my thigh is going to try to meet each time. So I'm going to lower the leg and then lift, and that's all we're doing is we're just lifting and lowering, trying to meet that hand each time. So here we go, 5 and 6, 7, make sure to breathe, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Very good. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So you can turn around, and I am just going to shift my weight a little bit and I've got the wall here if I need it, right? So I'm going to lift the leg up and notice how high can I lift it on this side? Am I hip hiking? I don't feel like I am. I'm going to place my right hand here and practice lifting up. 1, or 2, I guess. 2, 3, 4, 5, stay tall, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, keep breathing, 10, 11, right? Have the wall, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Good. So hopefully you feel a little something happening here in your legs. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is to work on the side part of our hip and leg, so our glute medius and minimus. And so again, holding on to your chair if you want, we're going to take the leg, that left leg out. Toes are facing forward, and knees are facing forward. We're in that same position. Legs just here, just coming out to the side, and we're squeezing at the hip, letting it come out. And so when we do all these exercises, we want to think about doing them somewhere between 8 and 15 times. Wherever we are, I have no idea what number I'm on. Let's just say it's like 9-ish. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. See if you can hold that leg out there. We're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Grow tall. 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And if you want to kind of shake out your hips a little bit, you can. So staying up nice and tall again, we're taking that leg out. Think about the knees and the toes are facing the same direction as if your legs were underneath you. There's a great tendency to kind of turn out like that, but for this particular exercise, we're just keeping everything moving forward, right? So let's just say that's 9-ish. 10, it's not going to hurt you if you do more. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's okay to have a little shaking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. And then let your hips kind of just do their little thing, right? All the way around. You can do your little hula hoop movement. Good. So hopefully you're starting to feel a little something. The next thing we're going to do is a squat. So when we go into the squat, we just want to make sure that we are being mindful of our knees and our lower back, and we're keeping our chest up as high as it can be. So I'm going to turn and face the chair, and I'm going to start off with the bending of the knees. So let's just get that position right. So the knees are going to bend towards the toes, and then our rear end is going to sit back and down, and I'm going to hold on to the chair as I come down. And as you see, my upper body is staying fairly up. I'm not bending over my legs, or I'm trying not to at least. So we're lowering down, and then we're going to stand up and squeeze the booty, right? So down and up. Bend the ankles as much as you can, knees and hips. 3, squeeze at the top, coming down. 4, you might release your arms and let them come in front. 5 and 6, ha, and 7, right? And 8. Good. And if you want to go down lower, if you can, 9, you can do that. 10, 11, got some good creaking going on. 12, squeeze at the top. 13, 14, and 15. Very good. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some calf work. This is for, those nice calves. And it's also going to help us with our balance and our posture. So we're going to draw the abdominals in, lengthen that back, stand up nice and tall. And again, you can have your hand on your chair. We're going to lift up as high as we can go, and then down. Up and down. Up and down. Good. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Notice if you tend to roll out on the sides of your feet, like on the pinky toe side, or if you're more into the inside on your big toe, try to get nice and balanced. Coming up and down, up and down, up and down. Squeeze those inner thighs together, up and down. How about one more time? Up and down. Very good. Bend your knees and circle the hips around. Very good. All right. So the next thing is, remember from our warm-up, I'm a big fan of this dorsiflexion. So we're going to practice the dorsiflexion, pulling the front of the foot towards the shin, up and down. So we're just tapping, 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 tapping. And if you're able to, try to make a snap. So you want to feel it. If you are in an exercise class or you just have some time around your house, it's fun just to practice stepping like that. And that really helps to develop that strength. Switch legs, tap, 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 tap. I know this looks like it's nothing, but if you do this enough, you'll see that it's not nothing. It can be challenging. Good. So again, think about that. Moving around your house, being able to step, 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 right? Heel, toe, heel, toe. Very good. All right, releasing. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is a lunge. So we're going to step the left foot forward and the right foot back, right? And think about the pelvis still moving forward, and we're staying nice and tall. We're staying nice and tall in our body. We're going to bend that left knee, and we're just going to drop down to wherever it feels right for us, and then come back up, down, and up, right? So we're going to lunge, going as deep or staying as shallow as feels right for you. Again, your hand can stay on here. And we're going to do this many times, right? So here we go down. Let's just count 8. 1, because we did the warm up of it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And now let's just lower down and hold this and see what this feels like for 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep breathing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. And then shake out that leg, right? We'll do the same thing, other leg. Stepping one leg back and the other one in front. Staying nice and tall, and you might feel like a stretch here, right? Bending the knee and then dropping down. So that back knee is dropping down towards the ground, and we're coming up. And we're just going to do a couple to test the water. My back knee isn't actually all the way down on the ground. We don't want to rest on the ground. You can kiss the ground with your knee if you want. And here we go. 1, 2, inhale, exhale. 3, inhale down. 4, 5, 6, 7, good. 8, and now we're going to lower, and it's whatever lower position feels right for you. Holding this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. And release. Good. So, shaking it out, right? Doing a couple of little circles around. Nice, very good. All right, the next thing we're going to do is for the inner thigh, and it's kind of like a sweeping motion. So we're going to take our feet apart a little, about hip width, okay? And then sort of sweep the leg over and across. And you imagine that you're leading through the inside of your foot, bringing it across. Like we're just kicking the ball over and across. And you can take your leg back if you want. And we're just going to bring it over and across. And let's do 8 of these from here. 8, 7, 6, really squeeze. 5, 4, nice. 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold that leg up there. 10, 9, 8, reach to the heel. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Good. Same thing other side, so legs apart a little bit, turning that leg out and then sweeping across. Sweeping across. Sweeping across. Good, here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. And then shake it out. Good. Now we're going to work on the hamstrings. The hamstrings sometimes don't get enough love, I don't think. So we're going to do 30 on each side. There's 3 positions for the ankle. One is turning that ankle so the heel is in and the foot is facing out to the side. One is turning the foot in slightly like your pigeon-toed, and the other one is coming into neutral, and that's going to help isolate the different aspects of the hamstring. So we're going to start with 10 with the ankle turned out. Think about your knee coming, still pointing forward. We've not rotated out in the leg, and we're going to just try to kick our butt or go up as high as you can. Squeeze. Squeeze. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Turn your toes in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then a neutral foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woof, a little cramp there. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So remember, ankle out, ankle in, and then neutral. Here we go. Ankle out. 1, 2, stay tall. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ankle in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then neutral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And then we're going to shake that out. We're going to come down to the ground for the last 2 exercises. So get yourself in a place where you can come all the way down to your back, and we will do our concluding 2 exercises. Hi, and welcome back. So now we're going to come all the way down to our back. Just roll on down. If you want to put a little pillow or something underneath your head, you can go ahead and do that. That'll perhaps increase your comfort. Feet are separated hip width apart, and our shoulders are down and back. No tension in the neck. We're just going to lift our hips up, noticing how far we go when we lift up, and trying not to hyperextend and really push in and extend. We just want to feel that sense of being able to lift the hips up and lower down. And these are these little butt kisses. So we're going down and up. Notice if you have a tendency to go from side to side, if you can keep your hips nice and level as you come up. Sometimes people like to put a little block or a pillow between their knees to help increase strength in the inner thighs. So we're just coming up and down. Squeeze at the top and down. Squeeze at the top and down. Let's do 8 more. 8, squeeze and down. 7 and down. 6, good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release down. Good. We're going to roll over onto our side, and you can stay here if you want. You can also prop yourself up, bend that top leg and put your foot on the ground. Flex at your down ankle, and we're lifting up, focusing on the inner thighs, squeezing together, lifting up, lifting up, lifting up, right? And so here we go. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And since we're here already, stack the legs up one on top of each other, bend your knees so the feet are behind. We're going to do this nice little clamshell. So we're just lifting up, the feet are together, the motion's happening at the hips. We're just helping the hips open up here, opening and closing. Good. Just a few more. Good. Good. Knees stay together. See if you can lift that top foot up. Now, I clearly don't have very much internal rotation here, so this is pretty hard for me to be able to lift my foot off my other foot without kind of rolling my whole body. So the idea is to really isolate this. But this movement at the hip really does help keep your back healthy. So mobile hips helps to keep the back and the knees happy and healthy. Good. Just 2 more and 1 more. Very good. And then we'll swing the legs around. Do the same thing on the other side. Finding that position, flexing at the ankle. Think about your inner thigh, working to lift that leg up. And you can take that left foot up off the ground if you feel like you're propelling yourself up or trying to push, because we really do want to activate those inner thigh muscles. And for a lot of us, it's pretty tight in there or weak. Good. And just a few more. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Stack the legs, line the hips up, bend the knees, and lift those knees up. That's our clamshell, right? Ooh, I'm slipping off my foot. As we get more comfortable with this, you can take your whole lower leg up as well and support it here. It's just an option. Good, one more time. Knees stay together, lifting that foot up. And again, you see, like, this is an area where Sarah has some restrictions. So this internal rotation is pretty hard for me. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, we all have our strengths and our areas of deficit, right? We're to come all the way down. I want to show you another option for your glute bridges, which is another way just to get some information and to build strength independently. You can come into glute bridge, just lifting the hips up, right? Maybe pressing into your heels, dorsiflexing, bringing the front of the feet towards the shin. This is really good if you have a tendency to cramp in your hamstrings. You can also try the single leg glute bridge, and we'll do 6 of these on each side. So I'm extending my left leg up, my right foot is down, and I'm just going to lift up. 1, 2, trying not to use my arms to propel myself up. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switching legs, lifting up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And releasing. Feet are down. We're going to lift both hips up, right? And just hold this. Squeeze your booty. 10, 9. Think about your inner thighs drawing together. 8, 7. Pull your belly in. 6, 5. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release down. Good. And so that concludes the beginning of the beginner series for lower body strength. My suggestion for you is that you go through that 3 times, and if you have time for it, go through it 3 times and then wait a day and see how you feel. If you don't feel anything tomorrow or the next day after you do this, if you're not feeling sore or anything like that, then you can add hand weights to it, and I will demonstrate what one of these looks like with weights in the future. But that's something you can do. But I would say for the first time, if you haven't done any lower body exercises for a while, I would say go for a week, maybe 3 sessions separated by a day, and see how your body feels after you go through this series. The idea is not for you to feel really sore, but to slowly start to build strength. You might feel a little bit of soreness. That's perfectly normal. So the way we build strength and muscle is we stress the muscle, and when the body repairs it, it repairs it so that it's more strong than it was when you started. And it does mean that there's a little discomfort in that in-between stage. So we do want to get to the point where it's hard to do those last couple of ones. But if you're breezing through 3 sets of 15, you definitely know that you are ready to add some weights. Okay, thanks so much for watching. And I'll have part 3 here if you want to stick around for a little stretch session at the end.